how the people who I used to work for tried to lock me up, label me a predator, and betrayed me. So here's the thing over time. So what was I famous for before fan anime? What was I famous for before I hit the massive levels of fame that I have today? I was just at first an Instagram clout that literally ran off of other people's songs, but they would always reference me in every single song, and they would literally make songs for me and make AMVs. And I got famous for literally having a series. And so what I did was I created up my own little universe where people would rock and fit, because I would take Bay Area rappers with their names and match them to anime characters, like this guy named Nectar Pharaoh I put as Yugi Moto, and this other guy named Raven Justice who I put as Raven from Teen Titans. And I was known for those two the most, and literally that series could have gone on for long and long and long, but the thing was dwelling in my head. We have a lot of footage of Yu-Gi-Oh, but this kind of limited footage of Raven and Teen Titans, and that gave it a hint. I didn't actually think this was true, that this isn't gonna last forever, but it could have lasted forever. How much people were infatuated with these people. I was known for being a legend. All that shit that people talked about me went out the window as soon as I became a Bay Area superstar, and I was known across town as the guy that makes AMVs and always has good fly clothes on. I also knew how to Mac, but that was the fucking problem. It wasn't a problem at first, it was just a joke, because I didn't have my shit together, and I was living out a group home, and they all achieved levels of fame. Now I know how the industry works, and I know how literally being a rapper doesn't guarantee you pussy. In fact, being a rapper is literally just as busy as going to community college, because you're stuck in the studio 24/7. You constantly have to make songs. You have to make sure your flow is at standard level so you can literally make quality songs every single time, and it literally doesn't matter, and you still achieve that level of fame. And here's what was going on. The Bay Area has a bad reputation for being childish and not reaching out to other states, and that is where they fell flat. What I did was I expanded their source of media, because if you guys know the difference between E40 and everybody else in California, is that E40 and Too Short were legendary and got to make songs with Akon and literally T-Pain, big radio hitters, while all the rest of them literally stayed underground basically, and literally they would have to ask permission for E40 to even get up to a level where they can do songs with Jim Jones. So they're really suck where it comes to reaching out to other people. Raven Justice was literally the closest thing to mainstream, right next to Nectar Pharaoh, but they were all ass. They all had a bad history of not taking constructive criticism. What they would do is they would have a limited fan base and they would grow over time, but what I did is I expanded their fan base. What I did was when they saw my AMV, they were like, oh my god, the visuals is what made them mainstream. I helped them reach a certain level of clout, and what did they do? Here's what happened. So before you jump to conclusions, they were infatuated with my work. They literally wanted me to literally keep going. They literally made one song specifically for me to put both of them on a track. Neff and Raven made a song specifically so I would put Yugi and Raven in an AMV, and everything went crazy. But what did I do? I didn't go all out like I should have. And here's the crazy thing about this. So these guys on the inside are known for sexually harassing the strippers in their videos. And me, I was known for macking on the most popular one that everybody liked, and E40 kept on telling them over and over again, slow down with these girls. They're just like you, they're just little kids. You don't have to get their parents. All you have to do is have fun. The same thing I tell people every single day, and E40 is the one who sold me the most appraisal. So what happened was this, is I didn't take advantage. I showed them I could mac on these girls on Snapchat, but I chose not to because I had a bigger passion for anime and hip hop at the time, and I was getting closer to my goal, and I was like, fuck these hoes, they're too easy to get. Making an AMV is way more challenging. Literally, doing this and that, spending time after time after time, loads of hours that I put into this media will never be the same And these bitches weren't shit to me anymore. But to the rappers, it was like, how does he do that? How is he this and that? And E40 kept on telling them every time. It's because he doesn't treat them like a piece of meat. It's because he respects his art more than woman. That's why he's doing that. So what happened was this. I showed them I could Mac on them over and over and over again. And they kept on trying to get at me. They kept on literally giving me support. Oh, move this. Oh, move that. And I literally don't give a fuck. And I keep on with my grind. And so these rappers are still wondering how the fuck I did it. And it all came down to a point where what kept them content is the fact that I didn't like bitches like that. And it kept them content because I didn't take action. I got approval from them to fuck, but I didn't take action. I'm like, I don't care. And plus I didn't have resources to go see them anyway, so it didn't matter. So that kept them content. It's like, well, at least he doesn't have his shit together. At least he's not taking advantage of how much ass he's getting, at least. But that all changed as soon as I went to Fanime. All these bitches on Snapchat all kept their distance, all knew that I was too sexy, I was too charming, and I literally had them at the palm of my hands, but I'm like, fuck that, I have a life. And so literally, they got angered and they kept on trying to get me over and over again, but I'm like, nope. I kept on rejecting them, and rejecting them. And to the point where I went to Fanime, where I became a cosplay superstar, and I start picking up chick after chick after chick. And literally, what happened was this. If you go back to Dark Game, Chapter 2, the results of my training is when I literally learned how to pick up chicks with ease, and I started to take advantage of choosing signals. As far as Snapchat, where I ignored them, because 1, it wasn't a guarantee. 2, I knew how to take charge. But 3, those bitches weren't worth it. And literally, what happened was they got mad because they saw that I could gorilla. They saw that I could do this and that I could literally have them in the palm of my hand. So destructive of their mind. And they kept on masturbating over and over and over again. The Bay Area rappers were devastated that I finally took advantage of the situation. And they kept on crying over again. So it got to a point where they didn't make good music. So I was wondering, I didn't know the full story until last year. So what happened was this. All the way up to Family 2019, I had all my work I still wanted to work on. I had literally this Japanese song I was rehearsing over and over again to sing. And I was doing this and that. So little did I know that they had this bulletproof plan in their head that they were gonna label me a predator the next year because I got away with it the first year. And it was devastating because the first year was all consensual and the next year was literally mayhem. And what happened was this. So over and over and over again, I'm wondering, why aren't they making good songs anymore? What happened to the beats? What happened to the lyrics? What happened to this and that? And then I realized what was going on last year, that these guys were literally so fucking retarded because E40 told them, don't do it, Neff. Don't do it, Raven. He's gonna win. I'm telling you, he's an OG. It's literally this and that. E40 kept on telling them not to try to set me up, and so E40 stayed silent. And so, you know, what they did was they went against their grandmaster and they pulled some shady shit. And so he's like, okay, you can go play yourselves. Because what they expected to happen was, what they did was, all the girls that were there the first year were not there the second year. If they were there, they were in a relationship. And literally, they tried literally surrounding me at every corner, and they kept on begging me to do it. And E40 kept silent. He's like, you guys are retarded. You guys are egging them on over and over again, telling him to grab their ass. You think you're the one that's gonna get away? No, those kids got arrested, those kids got locked up, and I didn't, because I worked hard and I am an artist, and I am more than just a piece of meat. So here's what happened. They were fucking devastated over and over and over again that they couldn't label me a predator, and they wondered why didn't it happen. I'm like, because life isn't a fucking movie. Life isn't a cartoon. Life isn't what the fuck you think it is. Life is complex. They didn't literally look at the picture of me grabbing ass and automatically jump to conclusions. No, they put 2 and 2 together. You guys were harassing him until he did grab ass. And literally, and that's why E40 kept silent. I'm like, man, I don't have to step in. And literally, that was so fucking funny because Literally, he entrusted me and I did beautiful. I got out of there with fairly ease, but I didn't get out with ease in my head. So what they did was, the third day is when they spammed the picture of me and Ormoy trying to say that I'm a predator, when in actuality I'm an intellectual. And so many people stood up for me, and I'm real known famous. So you know a lot of things about law, and you know a lot of things about how the real world works and how people backslide their connections. A lot of guys get in and out of jail because they're famous. I have those connections. So they were literally destroyed at every single corner. Every single thing in their plan was self-destructive. Is because of who they're aiming for, not what the fuck they're doing. They're aiming for a good guy who's known for doing good deeds. Out of nowhere, he's a predator? No. He didn't grab ass all year. Now all of a sudden, he's a predator? Get the fuck out. Everybody shut them the fuck up, and they're all like, yo, this didn't happen like a movie did. This didn't happen simply like your thought it would did. No, it was a complex situation. And literally, so what happened was, it was Raven, it was Nev, and it was all the low tiers on Dizzler that literally tried to label me a predator. It's all because I took advantage of what they thought I'll never take advantage of, because they thought I was a brainiac that was gonna be, oh, it has nothing to do with science forever. Like, no. I just finally got relief, and these bitches weren't worth my time. So, if you guys want a true insider of why I won in general, and why you guys really don't understand what respect is why you guys don't seek respect instead of sex out of women, is why you can never fuck women. And I'm gonna put it to you plain and simple. I chose to not go there the third day because I'm popular enough to get in and out like they said I am. But is that really the way to go? I absorbed that lesson instead of them going in and out sexy harassing strippers for their own videos, being pathetic as fuck. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna go that way. So what happened was, even though I tried over and over again for that Japanese song, which I can only sing on the third day, because only the third day has karaoke, what happened was this. So they posted a picture of me with Ormoy trying to say I'm a predator over and over again. I'm like, man, this is horrible. But they did that, literally, they tried to label me the day before I was Todoroki. So they labeled me a predator or Ormoy the first day, but they still let me in the second day. So I realized I could have got in the third day because of how popular I am, but because of the disgusting shit that I did, and because of how many people I hurt, I thought about it. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna win that way. That's not the way I want to win. I don't care if I practice over and over again. But the devil's like, you're retarded. You practiced all this time and you have the opportunity to go. Oh, that's what happens when you do it at all. I'm like, nope, that's not the way I want to win. Because I want to win with honor and pride, and because you guys always think the low blows is why you will never win. You manipulate a situation when you already have too much criminal activity. You told me to say, here, hold this. And plus, I made it with too many people in the first one, and I was in a relationship with people who run for anime. You targeted the boss of the show, so you know what the police did? You know what they did? They showed me that I'm a good guy, and you are gonna win because you are not disgusting like them. You saw that people treated you like a boss, and you are so popular. Oh, this is just a part of the show. Him grabbing ass, that's just a part of the show. But should it be? No, it shouldn't. I did that so I can get enough press and attention with entertainment to where I can get resources to take care of my children. I thought of it as an opportunity to get rich, and you guys literally not only try to play your system, but play yourselves in the process, because this is an extremely good person who you're targeting. All because of the stupid pussy. All because of literally, they had so much potential and they let it all grow, and I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I literally have to state this. I cannot trust these people anymore. I do not trust Raven Justice. I do not trust Steph the Pharaoh. And I literally am here to say, you try to put my life in danger. You try to do this and that. I used to love making videos for your content, but now I can't because you literally didn't give me no room to work with after you realized I won. Raven and that song started sucking over and over and over again to a point where I could not make AMVs for them. I could not do content for them anymore, and they started sucking on purpose. I understand that you're chronic masturbators, but that doesn't mean that you still don't have drive to make music. And you did that on purpose. You put me in a tough spot because here's what happened. When they thought that they almost caught me, I'm like, it doesn't matter if I'm not going to cons anymore. Cons is something that I surpassed when I was in high school. I still have the whole A&B and Bay Area to fall back on, so guess what happened? They took away what I had to fall back on. And that is why they're unforgivable. I thought they were, but they weren't. They literally knew I had a whole lot to fall back on, and they attacked me, literally destroyed my resources, destroyed what made me great. I haven't made an AMV for them in literally a year. That whole series on my channel is now obsolete. I can't continue it. I wish I could. I was so content, but guess what happened? They tried to stop my development. So here's what I was known for Instagram. This is why they were so full of shit. What happened was I was known for being desperate for Instagram followers so I could reach 1K. And going to the conventions also helped me reach 1K really fast, because literally it was two birds with one stone. I would post the AMV, tag a rapper, and I would go to conventions, and I would get literally hella more followers from going to conventions. Everything supported my career, but guess what? I had more people I was following than followers. If you take graphic and design, that looks bad in your resume because you took longer than you were supposed to get what you needed on paper, but it doesn't matter. Once you gave me the opportunity to reach 1K, I could have got paid for my content. And I was so close to 1K. I was at 800 followers, but now that stupid shit with fanmade drove me down to at least 200 less subscribers, and I had to keep grinding, so I couldn't make AMVs anymore to get followers. It took me so much longer, and that's why it devastated me, because I was so close. I didn't want to literally be just a guy on Instagram, because then society can't tap me that I have nothing on paper. And literally, I was so close to getting my shit on paper, but they stopped my development. If they wouldn't pull that stunt, I would have had at least 2K by now, but that is why I can't trust them. They are unforgivable. I don't fuck with Netherfield. I don't fuck with half the people on Dizzler on the Roof. I left that behind for a good reason. That shit could have lasted forever, but that's for the wrong reason. I can't be living like Beavis and Butthead forever, looking at my rap MVs, being so proud of myself for out taking no action in real life. I had no car, I had no this and that, but with the power of 1K, I could have got those things, but they stopped me before that happened. You can't work with people who are jealous of you. You can't work with people who literally are spiteful. And that is one thing with business that they failed, and that's why they never reached out of state. So just remember it. This is a life lesson. You don't want to literally be praised on the outside, because what I had a fan base is what Raven and Neff had. They had all their praise on the outside, but on the inside, they got caught for doing stupid shit like shitting on themselves in the club. Literally sexually harassing their own strippers, having no game on the inside, never having a single girlfriend, having their clout make up for it. I had that shit before. I'm like, no thank you. I love who I am as a person, and that's not the way I want to win.